Now I will tell you what the second chapter of the Yoga Sutras, which is called Sadhana Pada, or the chapter on practice, is all about in a few verses. So the second chapter, or the Sadhana Pada, can be broadly divided into two portions. The first portion establishes the foundation for Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, and the second portion is on the first five limbs of the Ashtanga Yoga. Now, the foundation for Ashtanga Yoga. Essentially, this portion can be condensed into three sutras. The first sutra is the 17th sutra. It is Dhrashta Dhrishyayo Sanyogo Heya Hetuhu. The cause of the avoidable suffering is the identification of the Dhrashta, that is the Purusha or the seer, that which sees, with the Dhrishyam, that which is seen, which is the material world, which includes our bodies and also the mind. The mind is considered inert according to yoga, and it is enlivened by the Purusha. A Purusha gives it consciousness, just like a computer by itself is inert, but the electricity makes it come alive and do things. So, and then the other sutra is what causes this wrong identification. Okay, the Dhrashta and Dhrishyam are seem to be superimposed, or they seem to think they're one and the same. That is not so. But what causes this wrong identifications? It is the kleshas, or the afflictions of the mind, that cause this wrong identifications. The kleshas are the root cause for the leftover desires that prompt actions resulting in certain experiences in this or other lifetimes. It's a beautiful sutra, Sutra 12. Kleshamula karmashayo drishta drishta janma vedaniyaha. Vedana means experience. So it's a life experience. Janma vedaniyaha means life experiences. Kleshas are the root cause for the karma ashayaha, that is leftover desires that prompt actions um, uh, that resulting in certain experiences. This is dukkha or sukha, good or bad experiences in this or other lifetimes. And the other last sutra is how we eliminate the kleshas. This is similar to what the Buddha talks about. There is dukkha in the world, and it can be eliminated. So how can you eliminate the kleshas? Yoganganushthanat ashuddhikshaye jnanadiptihi avivekakyate. By the practice of the limbs of yoga, the impurities are destroyed, the lamp of wisdom is lit, which leads to discriminative direct knowledge. Vivekakyatihi, direct discriminative knowledge. Okay. Now, I'd like to tell a small story about this essence of the sadhana pada, which is the cause of the avoidable suffering. Is we think that we, the pure I, the pure Purusha, is the body and the mind, which is not the case. Okay, so to illustrate this, we will go to the story from the Bhagavatam. It is the sixth canto, which includes chapters 14 through 17. So the Bhagavatam is stories of bhaktas. Bhagavatam literally means stories of the bhaktas of Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu. So this is the story of King Chitraketu. It is profound story illustrating how the samyoga creates suffering and how wisdom breaks it. This is the story. There was a king called King Chitraketu. He had everything, wealth, he had beautiful wives, he had a lot of power, huge empire, but he was very miserable because he did not have a son. He deeply identified with a need for a son, so he could be a father, and a lineage son could be the successor of the lineage. And through the blessing of sage Angira, his first wife finally gave birth to a son. And the king was ecstatic. His identity completely merged with the child. I am the boy's father, the child is my happiness. So this is how he was thinking. Okay. And one day, what happened was this the other wives of the king, they became jealous and they poisoned the child. The child died. Chitraketu's suffering was boundless. He collapsed over the dead body of the child, weeping, unable to accept that his son has died. And this is the pain from Sayoga, the attachment. And finally, intervention. The sages Angira and Narada also comes. They arrive to teach the king the truth of the distinction between the body, mind complex, and the Purusha. They use their mystic powers to call the Sukshma Shariram. So, as you know, we consist of the three bodies: Sthula Shariram, which is the physical body; Sukshma Shariram, the subtle body; then there's the Karana Shariram, which is the causal body, like a seed, where the imprints are stored even during Pralayam. And enlightening, all these are inert. Enlightening all this is the consciousness. That is the real you. All the others are like clothes you wear, just to give form, shape for in transactions with the world. And they use their mystic powers to um, call the Sukshma Shariram. The Sukshma Shariram is also called the Jiva. So, of the dead son back into the body for a brief moment. So, the son wakes up, the child wakes up. Chitraketu was overjoyed and he cried out, "My son, please come to me, your father, please come back to me." But the child looks at him very coldly. The reawakened Jiva looked at the king coldly and spoke these words: "In the cycle of births and deaths, I have rotated through millions and millions of species, not just human species, millions of different species. I've had millions and millions of fathers and mothers. Which father are you referring to? You're saying, 'Come to me, I am your father.' You're just a temporary acquaintance in this long journey. I'm not your son. You're not my father. These are just roles we played in a play. Now the play is over." So that's the end. So in this example, the actor, so there's a Shakespeare, I think, said, "All the world's stage and all the people are mere actors." Like that, um, in this life, all these roles we play, this is just, we are like actors. And then you go home after a play, and the real person refers to the Purusha. That is the real identity. So what this shows is that the Purusha is the one thing that is permanent. That is the real you. All this mind body, this jiva, which is the mind body complex, the Sukshma Shariram inhabiting this mind body complex, it's all temporary. And the jiva transmigrates. And at the end of a pralayam, when everything dissolves back into the source, even the Sukshma Shariram is dissolved. Only the Karana Shariram, which is nothing but the imprints of the karma, that's the only thing that is left. So this is a beautiful story which tells about King Chitraketu, how he learned his lesson. Story of King Chitraketu from Srimad Bhagavatam. So the child wakes up and makes this profound statement, which in the cycle of births and deaths, I've rotated through millions of species, billions and millions of lifetimes. I've had so many millions of fathers and mothers. Which father are you referring to? You're just a temporary acquaintance in this journey. So this is the essence of the Samyoga, the identification of I, the pure consciousness, with the mind and the body.